Hello, we are back for more Shakesyear. We are working on Henry V, and we are in Act 1, Scene 2, sort of. That's what most people call it, but the acts and the scene delineations in the folio are so messed up, like they get off by an entire act. So we're just gonna go with the traditionally accepted scene delineations, and we're gonna call this Act 1, Scene 2. So yesterday in Act 1, Scene 1, we had the Archbishop of Canterbury and the Bishop of Ely talking about how the fact that there's a bill in Parliament right now that's going to take a lot of money away from the church. And wouldn't it be great if the king said something or did something so that the church didn't have to lose all of its money? And then the Archbishop of Canterbury also mentions that this French ambassador is coming to talk to the king, and that the king has started looking into all sorts of other various rights and titles that he has by line of succession that give him more lands and more property and stuff like that. And incidentally, one of these might be France, because his grandfather Edward had a right to France. And apparently there is or was a law in France called Salique or Salic, that meant that women could not inherit. So it had to be a male heir that would take the throne, kind of a thing. And whether or not that law is valid would sort of dictate whether or not Henry was the rightful king of France, in addition to being the king of England. So this Act 1, Scene 2 starts out with the king, the French ambassador is sort of waiting outside, and the king is like, "Where is the Archbishop of Canterbury?" And they're like, "Should we bring in the ambassador?" He's like, "No, I need to talk to Canterbury first." And Canterbury comes in and he's like, "Oh, my gracious liege, may you live forever." And King Henry V says, "Sure, we thank you. My learned lord, we pray you to proceed and justly and religiously unfold why the law Salique that they have in France, or should not, bar us in our claim. And God forbid, my dear and faithful lord, that you should fashion, rest, or bow your reading, or nicely charge your understanding soul with opening titles miscreate, whose right suits not in native colours with the truth. For God doth know how many now in health shall drop their blood in approbation of what your reverence shall incite us to. Therefore take heed how you upon our person, how you awake our sleeping sword of war. We charge you in the name of God take heed, for never two such kingdoms did contend without much fall of blood, whose guiltless drops are every one a woe, a sore complaint against him whose wrongs gives edge unto the swords that make such waste in brief mortality. Under this conjuration speak, my lord, for we will hear, note, and believe in heart that what you speak is in your conscience washed as pure as sin with baptism. So yeah, essentially he's telling the Archbishop to put his hand on a Bible and swear that what he's about to say is God's honest truth. King Henry wants to know if he actually has a claim on France, if there is any merit to that, because if there is and he goes to war in France, then maybe that's a thing that could be a thing. But if he has no claim, then he doesn't want to go and fight a war where lots of innocent people will die. So yeah, he's trying to be the right and just king and just take what he actually can lay claim to. And tomorrow we get to hear the Archbishop of Canterbury's response to this, which is really, really long. And we'll see if this claim holds water. What do you think? Anyway, I'll see you tomorrow for more.